Hello, journeymen, journeywomen. This is a hero's journey with Dr. D, the podcast. This podcast was designed to inspire, to encourage, to educate, and to motivate, helping you get beyond your first move and creating a better mindset today. Now, for an entertaining video version of this episode, along with many more at my YouTube series, go to a hero's journey with drd.com. Now, let's begin. Hey, journeymen, journeywomen, this is a hero's journey with Dr. D. All right, here to encourage, to inspire, to motivate, to educate, helping you get beyond your first move and creating a better mindset today and right now. If you find any value in this content, please don't hesitate. Help me help you so we can help others by clicking like and sharing and sharing and sharing. And what you do is that you actually help build with me and join with me as we try to make a better tomorrow today. So with all that being said, you know what it is. This is the recap, the update or up and coming, as well as the Q&A. Dun-dun-dun. Let me pour me something to drink. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, the video this week was I put the recap up, so not the recap, but the chat is up. So if anybody would like to go ahead and start putting the chat in the stream right now, then when I get to the Q&A section, I will address these. I will address the chat. And if anybody's on here, if you have any problems hearing me, go ahead and let me know. If I'm good, give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. So here we go. All right. This is I'm doing a recap of the last video, which was I posted this morning. Was we was talking about empathy, being in the shoes, walking in the shoes of others, and that's often you hear it in theory, but a lot of people. Thank you. You hear it in theory, but a lot of people don't try to do it. They're not even empathetic about who they're addressing or who they're addressing and how it comes across. So what I'm attempting to do, in my video, I talked about three ways of empathy. First, we talked about cognitive empathy. Now, cognitive empathy, you will see a lot in individuals who are great salespeople because they're excellent read of people, and they're good business people. They're good reading. They can read people very well. It can be a thing where they say that I see where you're going. They can perceive what the other person perceives. There is a strength and a weakness to that, and I explained that in the video. The strength is that they're good in reading people, and they can actually cater to what that person is craving or desiring. But the weakness on that individual, on that, is that it can be twisted and manipulated. When a person doesn't have character, what they do is they shift everything to meet their needs, to get to the bottom line. But they won't care anything about the individual who they're addressing. They'll squeeze all the juice. They'll squeeze all the juice out the lemon. They eat all the fruit off the tree, but won't spend any time trying to plant to grow a tree for the next man. Because it's all about them, all about what they can get, their bottom line, what they can make and what they can consume. And they often, when the individuals like that, they're consuming so much, they're never satisfied. And they will cross over anybody and anything to get what they want. That's being cognitive empathy, meaning that you're thinking you can perceive what other people are feeling. I mean, you really care less because it's all about you. You can perceive, okay, I need to tweak it this way so I can get this sale. I need to tweak it this way so it can do what I want to do. I need to tweak it this way so I can get that vote. Now, after I'm in, I'm good. I don't care about anything else. The goal is to get what I want. You're not caring about anybody else. That's cognitive empathy. Now, the second one, and that's why I explained in the video where that's good in part, but it's really not good in leadership. in athletics or being a coach or in a relationship, it's not the reason why it's not good is because you always think about one thing, but you're not thinking about the people. And that's why the second thing of empathy, second stage of empathy is important. Emotional empathy. It means that not only do you see the way they see, but you feel their pain. You feel their hurt. You're in there with them. It's like the supervisor said, listen, not only I'm going to tell you what to do, I'm going to jump in there and I'm going to show you how, and we're going to keep on doing it until you get the groove because I feel your pain because I've been there before. It's, I think a thing in military, it'll be a good example would be military. A sergeant has been where a private is. So when they're hollering, they're giving orders, they're trying to protect the private from themselves because they were that private. Because they're trying to help, especially in the war zone. Suck it up, private. You can do it, you can do it. And the reason he can say you can do it, because he's been there. Every time he takes a private over, he's been there and he's pulling from his experience and he feels the pain, he feels the hurt. So, but the thing about the emotional empathy is that it's a strength because people want to be with the person who cares. They want to be with the person who cares, the team player, the person that jumps in with you, working the ground with you. However, the weakness of that is that the person can get overly consumed. Then their emotions not regulated because I used the example in the video as well. I talked about if you're a nurse, suppose you're in prenatal, you're working the kids area of the hospital, or you're working in hospice where you're actually dealing with people who are dying every day, and you build a relationship, a rapport with the individual, but you know that they only got 5 or 6 weeks or 2 days to live, but you have connected, and you connect too much with them, then you can become distressed, emotionally exhausted. And that's where it's emotional regulation, healthy balance of emotions is needed. And a lot of people are not balanced emotionally. That's where the cognitive and emotional empathy go good as a team leader. However, the glue to connect the first part and the second part is emotional concern, empathy. Emotional concern meaning that, or is empathetic concern, not emotional concern. What it is that not only do I can see the way, I can perceive the way what you're seeing, and I feel your pain, but I can do something about it. And I will, not only can I will do something about it. I jump in. That's Superman. So that's the truth. That's needed. When I talk about organizations, you talk about organizations, generally like empathy is used in organization settings or business meetings or trainings, but it's not a family organization. It's not a team organization. Don't brothers in warfare in military consider everybody family. Don't guys on the football field or girls on the ball field consider the girls with them family. It's an organizational structure that connects a bond. Man, I can think. I know when you're shooting that ball. I know where you're throwing it past it. Because I can read. I can perceive where you are. I feel your pain. I feel where you're going. You connect. It's a synergistic connection with all three. And the empathetic concern just connects it all together. So those three things are very, very important. A very important connection. Connection of empathy. Now, the thing is, are you willing to walk in somebody else's shoes? Or you just care about yours only? Oh, that is the question. Do you care about yours only? Oh, this is good stuff. All right, that's part one. That's part one. Now, the second part is we're talking about my update. Now, what I will be doing I'm gonna expound on this. My next it'll be a series, or it'll be a one video, one or two videos. We're gonna talk about the balance of empathy, the empathetic balance, um, the regulation and the balance of it all. Because if you're shifted cognitively, or and you're heavy there and don't care, you're not good. Or if you're heavy emotionally and not and can't see the way that person is seen, then you can't. That's not good either. So it's a balance in it, and so we're gonna talk about it's so we're gonna talk about it. That's what the update is. Talk about the health emotional regulation. I'm still working out a title to it, but it's a balance of it. Maybe about 2 or 3 steps in um, emotional health, and a lot of people are misdiagnosed and they go astray because their emotions are all over the place. It's not bipolar; they just don't know how to regulate it, and they look at everybody else, but they don't look in themselves because the answer is within yourself. There it is. There it is. Now, what I'm gonna do? I had a couple calls. I had a couple calls in. So what we're gonna do? This is how we're gonna do. This is Q&A section. So if there's any questions, I want whoever's online, go ahead and put it in chat line, put it in chat on the side, and I'll read them. And if we are coming in on the replay, go ahead and put a chat, and I'll respond within 24 hours. I will respond based on your chat, your question or your comment. I generally do that. So what I'll do, I'm going to a couple of calls that we're going to play over the air, and that's what I'll start doing. And if you notice underneath my comment section, I have a list of podcast platforms, from Apple Podcasts to Spotify, to Breaker, Google Cast. So I put my my broadcast, my podcast, my videos on the podcast. So what you can do, you can look at the podcast and you can comment. And you comment, you can record the comment, and I'll play it on the next video, on the next live. I'll play it and I'll respond to it. Okay, that's me. That's me giving people a shout out to. So a shout out. All right. Okay, so let's go with the first one. Oh, oh, oh. Y'all like my song? All right. Anybody want me to sing something? Anybody there? I'll sing. I can sing a little bit. All right, got one. Okay, this is the first one from Lisa.
I believe it takes a mature person to be empathetic or to be willing to learn to be empathetic. My question is, how do you teach a spouse to be empathetic?
Let me play that again, because I don't know if y'all really heard that. I will play that again. All right, here we go.
I believe it takes a mature person to be empathetic or to be willing to learn to be empathetic. My question is, how do you teach a spouse to be empathetic?
All right, that's the first one. Everybody's like that. I look a little dim right here. All right, that's a good question. It's a communication thing. How do you teach a spouse to be empathetic? How can you teach first off, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to respond to the audios, and I'm gonna play those on the air, and then I'm gonna go to the chat, and I'm gonna respond to the chats. Okay? All right, so how do you teach? You teach by example, because it's a communication thing. Effective communication is having ownership of how your message is. So if you're sending a message a certain way and the person's not getting it, then you actually have to That's a good one. You can't change anybody. You can't, like Sybil said, you can't make me over. Don't make me over. No, but you can make yourself better. You have a choice. You can be bitter or you can be better. You can show somebody through example and pray they receive it. But some people's armor is on so hard and they're so obstinate to resistance and wanting always to be right. It's difficult to do. You can be the example. That's all you can be. You can be the example and hope they pick up. But you can work on your example and how you are. Because if you can see the person's point of view, that's one. Then if you can feel the person's pain from their perspective, that's the second. Then you can jump in and do something about it. If you work on your empathy, you won't have to change theirs. Now, they still may be obstinate. You gotta do what you gotta do. All right, so that's Lisa. All right, got a couple more. I think I got 3 audios. Ooh. Mm. Ooh. 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 All right. Okay. Let's start. Let me start with Paula.
Hi, Dr. D. Paula again. I was wondering if there is a way to turn down empathy a little bit. I've always been a little bit sensitive to people. It's why I can't be in crowds. I soak up the energy and emotions of whatever people are in the room. I don't know what those emotions are, and it can be a little overwhelming. Is there a way to turn it off?
True empath. And is there a way to turn it off? If you know your limits, and you know the type of energy the individual is bringing, or the people, then you limit your intake. You feel what you feel, and you just limit your intake. Because the person's negative, you don't need to consume that. You don't need to consume that because it makes you feel negative. So, and we talked about this previously, what you do off consuming all the negative energy so you won't be consumed. All right. So, okay. So let's go with Wayne. Here we go. All right. Here we go.
Hey, Dr. D, this is Walter from Atlanta, Georgia. My question is, oh yes, and by the way, I enjoy your podcast, but my question is regarding empathy. Is empathy something that is taught or is it inherited?
Good question, Walter. I appreciate you calling in and give me a question, and I appreciate you enjoying my podcast. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel that my labor is not in vain. Let me put this in the cup, right? Oh, I'm getting choppy. I'm about to call these people. All right, so this is what it is. We all accommodate. Is empathy inherited? We are we are a composite of environment, situations, as well as that being said. With that being said, I'd like to thank each and every one of you all who have participated within this live section, who have sent me, have communicated in the chat, as well as left messages or on the Anchor app, so I can play them live on this broadcast. Because what I will be doing from week to week, when you leave a message, you'll be able to hear the next live session, and I will respond. That sounds like it's clear to me. Our genetic traits. And so some people who are heavily, who have a model, who has shown heavy empathy, the child will actually learn from that individual quite handily. However, environment as well as situations can shift that or twist it. But if everything is conducive and if everything becomes synergistic together, then you become healthy. You get a healthy state of empathy. However, we all know that one thing can just rock the boat. If it rocks the boat, then you have some adjustment to do, because life is not a smooth sail. It has rocks and rolls, and it has waves. But can you ride the wave, or will you sink? Can you ride the cloud like an eagle, or will you stay low like a vulture? So is all what type of resilience you have. It's not, you can get some traits from your parents, but you don't have to. But if you acknowledge them and you're aware of them, you can adjust things based on your situation, your environment. If your environment is bad, you can change your environment. If your situation has been bad, you don't have to dwell in the past. You can live in the present and create a future. So, with that being said, is it composite? Well, everything. So, that's my 3 audios. So let me go to my chats. Top to bottom. All right. Hey, Doc, let me put this up here. Hey, Dr. D, my question is, how can I be empathetic towards others but not be taken advantage of? You have to be aware of your audience, the individual you're speaking to, and their history, as well as their response. You cannot control other people, but you can control yourself. If you know a person has a track record of always doing things that you really don't like, then you cut off your excess. You don't even have to be mad about it, because if they're not giving energy to frustrate you, if you block off the access, then you block off your frustration. And you block out your frustration, then you block off a chance for you to be taken advantage of. I say this a lot, and I'm probably gonna do a video about it. Keep hope alive, but don't invest a lot in expectations. Don't invest a lot in expectations, but keep hope alive. Keep the door open, but don't invest a lot in expectation. If they do right, you're happy. If they do wrong, you're still happy. You know why? Because you didn't put a lot of investment in there. All right, thanks, Phil, for that. Let's go to the next one. All right, I have a friend. Phil says, I have a friend who preys on the kindness of others. Well, like I stated before, they cut the access off. They can prey on the kindness of others, but they'll have to prey on yours. And who controls that? You. You control the access a person has to your emotions, because you're the key. You're the gatekeeper to what comes in. You control internal, what comes in through your eye gates or your ear gates, and that includes individuals who come within your aura. All right, Paula. Paula, I guess Paula's addressing to the first question about how did you change your husband? How do you change how you make your husband empathetic? By Lisa, that said, Lord, she said, Lord, if there's an answer to that one, I might not have a husband. Yeah, that's true. That's funny. That's funny. But we learn from everything that we experience, and we move forward. Because just like there's some bad times, there's things good, and we talked about it. All right. No, it was Paula. The name was Lisa, not Louisa. It's Delisa. That was the first caller. All right. Phil said she's always taking. Phil said Paula's always talking about her ex-husband, but not doing stuff for the kids as a segue into asking money or favors. That's pretty funny. Oh, you're not talking about Paula. You talk about the other person. You talk about the other person. See, Phil, use on you actually can converse and say this. Um, Phil, so if you want me to send you a link, I can send you a link uh, on the anchor and put you on. Just put it in the chat if you want me to do it. If not, I understand. All right. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. Okay, so all right, so okay, Phil, you talk about actually she's always talking about her ex-husband not doing stuff for the kids as a segue into asking money or favors. Well, she got some deeper issues, but like I said before, you're the gatekeeper to your to access to you. Keep hope alive, but don't invest a lot of expectations. All right. I cannot stay on tonight, Daddy. Go ahead and answer my question. I will see the video later. I got you. Poor Dr. D. I've got to go quickly to Dennis. I got you, Paula. Okay. I call work for DUI. Oh, gotcha. Now I stay in the marsh and hide from humans. All right. Like we wrapping this thing up. All answers. Okay. All right. I answered that one. Uh, how can we be empathetic toward others but not be taken advantage of? I explained that. I have a friend who prays. I got that. Like I'm going on loop. All right. Oh, this is a short one, brief one. Poor Dr. D. Now stay. Thank you. Thank you for munches. Okay, let me see. Thank you munches, Dr. D. Gotta go pack for tomorrow's dinner journey. I'll catch you up on the next. Hugs, I got you. All right, anybody else? So put something in chat and I'll respond. All right, good. Okay. Okay, Tito said, is it wrong to isolate yourself? We all need time. Some people. Paula said it works for her. Paula said it works for her. She happy. Paula's really an extrovert. Don't let her fool y'all. Or is it wrong to isolate? Well, if you have a whole family, if everybody's having fun and you're always isolated, it's a balance to it. It's a balance. Me personally, I'm an extrovert, so I pull away sometimes, but I get my energy from people. It helps me when I'm away. You, on the other hand, may be somewhat a selective introvert. So you have people around here depending on you. You have people around here that look to you and see, because we have to be the example, irregardless of how our disposition is. So if I need people, I need to get my dose. That's why I get my energy. It allows me to be the best version of myself. If you need to pull away, you pull away so you can get your energy from your isolation so you can be the best version of yourself. We all different. We all different. And because you need the best version for your little girl, for your people, you need to be the best version of yourself because you're always isolated. You don't be like Howard Hughes, with nails growing long. I mean, the boy's rich, locked up and had jars of stuff everywhere. But he's rich, but he's isolated. We all need people. Everybody don't need as much as some, but we all need to connect with people. That's why in prison, probably one of the worst punishments is being isolation. Start talking to yourself because your brain will start creating. Your brain will start creating images for you to communicate with. Because we're made to join. We're made to connect with people. Okay, I hope I answered. All right. Good question, Tito. Anybody else? All right. All right. So, works for me. Yeah. All right. Anybody else? All right. So, with that being said, any more questions? I'm open to answer questions. Well, just to wrap it up, what we did, we addressed. I did my recap. I did the update. I did the update as well as I did a Q&A session. If you have enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you can be notified when a new episode is posted. So you can rave and review about this episode with your friends. And if you forget anything else from this episode, remember this, that every day you get up vertical, make it your goal in life to move forward and never move back. This was the Hero's Journey with Dr. D. Peace and blessings. And we're out.